Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Powerhouse Woman Show. I haven't been having this conversation quite a bit over the last couple of weeks with powerhouse women who are doing amazing things. They're building things, they're creating things. They have a body of work that is second to none. But the moment they find out about my Story Maker Academy, where I spend 6 months with entrepreneurs and leaders and professionals, helping them to uncover their story, work on their story, develop it, and deliver it, they say basically the same thing. They don't have a story. It's a clutch my pearls moment. I want to say, of course you have a story. You're amazing. Why would you say such a thing? This episode is not intended to reprimand or chastise anyone, but to help you unpack what may be going on when you've said something like this. First of all, I want you to know and believe me from the bottom of my heart that yes, you have a story. You have many stories that you can share. And it's not a matter of not knowing how to tell a story or where to put a personal anecdote in. No, it's not that. We're going to cover that, of course. But it's coming to terms with the fact that you have something that only you can share. So, what is going on with powerhouse women who may feel that they don't have a story to tell? Well, here is what I know to be true. I have covered stories, television, and radio for many, many years. I've interviewed countless people. I can't tell you how many because I wasn't taking note or keeping track. But while those who are elected officials or public servants or get media training or whatever are great at telling stories and great at telling their story and great at staying on brand, some of the most memorable, impactful, and repeatable stories are the ones told by people who may not have a whole lot of name recognition, but they tell it with power. They tell it in service. They tell it with authority and creativity. Those are the ones that really stand out. So if you've ever said, I don't have a story to tell, I want you to understand what may be going on. You may be doing what I call the story comparison. You think that unless your story is big and bold and you survive something horrific, which are all great stories, by the way, if it's that your story to share, you may be comparing it with other people whose stories end up, for example, as New York Times bestsellers, or they go on to be used in a movie plot. Your story is impactful and your story is powerful, and it doesn't have to be any of those things to be meaningful for someone, to be meaningful for your audience. So when you start to compare that your story is kind of like, I was just doing my thing. I was just doing what I was put on this earth to do. I don't know why that's a big deal. It's a big deal. It is a big deal. It is your big deal. So I want you to keep in mind that your story matters for what I say three main reasons. Reason number one, your story, your particular story creates connection. It's designed for the ears and heart and mind of your audience, the people you are meant to connect with. So think of it as that connection, that bridge. And you only have to be a couple of steps or 3 or 4 steps on the other side of where they are right now. We'll talk about that, of course, at the academy. But you speak to them. You have built something, you have created something. So it speaks to your legacy, what you have done, what you are doing. So don't dismiss that. Sharing your story gives meaning to your journey, your lived experience, what you have been through, what you said no to and finally start saying yes to, what you stood up proudly in a meeting and declared that you were going to start this nonprofit or start this organization, and nothing and no one would stand in your way. And when life would knock you down, you would find the way to keep going. Somebody wants to hear that story. That story is designed specifically for them. So before you dismiss your story as not big enough, not spectacular enough, not the stuff of Hollywood movies, I want you to know your story matters more than you know. Your story is critical at this juncture, at this time, in this year that we have declared a year of boldness on the Powerhouse Woman Show. Your story matters. And here's the best part of all, you are the best person to tell it. Yeah, you could hire someone, or you could just put it online, but we want to hear it in your voice. We want to hear it through your body. We want to connect with you. We want to share your legacy. We want to share your journey. So I say this with all sincerity. Now is the moment to start sharing your story. It's big enough, it's bold enough, it's now enough. It's what the world needs, it's what your audience needs right now. And that's why I do the work with the Storymaker Academy. We're coming up year 5 in 2027. Can you believe that? So if you want to learn more, just go to www.storymakeracademy.com. I'm happy to get on a Zoom call with you and explain what we're doing. So no more shrinking. No more kind of saying, oh, it's not big enough. Stop that. This is our year of boldness. And in that boldness, it means you're telling your story the way it needs to be told. We'll talk to you next time on the Powerhouse